I don't even know where to start with this Diddy stuff. That video got released this week of him brutalizing Cassie, and you saw there were so many people that hasn't spoke up. Like, I'm wondering, where the heck's Meek Mill at in all this? That's his boy. He hasn't said a word. There's nobody from quote-unquote Bad Boy that said a word. So I've watched so many different podcasts, interviews, bits on Instagram, and there's a couple that stuck out to me. One was the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, just like at the cores, he was the first person I ever seen just not try to toe the line, so to speak. He just went, let's just call it what it is. Diddy's a bitch. He's a bitch for what he did. And I was like, dang. So he just went all the way in. And then Fred Taylor co-signed on it. And he just said, Ryan Clark made a lot of sense. He goes, I don't care if I'm fighting a dude. When the dude's down, I'm not kicking him while he's down. And I rewatched that video, and I was like, man, that was clearly somebody running for her life. I can't imagine the mental anguish Cassie's gone through because she got involved at a young age with a mogul. It's got a lot of money, a lot of power, and you can get touched. You can get hurt. The rumor of her and Diddy taking a break and her starting to talk to Kid Cudi, and then Kid Cudi's car blows up, and Diddy said, I'll blow up your car. I'm like, and it happened? I'm like, the thing about Diddy is there's always been rumors about him, right? Whether his sexual orientation, the violence, him just being an asshole. There's always these different things that at some point you got to realize you don't hear these things about some people. You don't hear these things about Lenny Kravitz. You don't hear these things about Denzel Washington. Because I hate it when it be like, some people be like, they're just trying to keep a black man down. That's what they're doing. I go, no, that's not what this is. I will say the only person I've seen speak up for Diddy is Stevie J, of all people. And then I realized, Stevie J was staying at Diddy's house when it got raided. So Stevie J, of course, he's going to stand up for Diddy because that's his boy, and he's providing him and helping a lifestyle that he likes to live. So, and especially when you got nobody messing with you, Diddy's probably just hanging on to Stevie J as long as he can, just because that's the one guy that really hasn't turned his back on him. And I have to say, I co-sign with Ryan Clark on this. Like, it's one thing to hit a woman. It's another thing to hit a woman when you're 46 years old, and that's how old Diddy was when this happened. This isn't like some 18, 19-year-old hothead that just isn't thinking clearly, because I think most men, we do a lot of shit before the age of like 24, 25. And we're like, what was we doing? And I'm not saying hit women. I'm just saying our thinking is just fucked up. Men got to get women figured out earlier. Man, we're just so immature, and the life decisions we make, you're like, what was that all about? This is a grown adult chasing a woman down a hallway who's clearly trying to sneak away from you. And then I didn't realize till I really rewatched it, like kicking her when she's down and then dragging her back in the room. And then they got videos of her throwing stuff at her. I'm going, this was in a hallway. This is a public space. Can you imagine what he's doing behind closed doors? I can't even. There's always been drama around Diddy. There's rumors that he had something to do with Kim Porter's death, Biggie's death, Tupac's death. His name's always coming up. There's all these rumors of him in these homosexual activities, or the cameras in the house, and why are the feds raiding both his houses? And then my thing was with his apology. I was like, it was so insincere. And I heard people say he should have said Cassie's name, but I was going, well, then we come to find out there's an NDA. He can't legally say her name. She can't say his. So I wasn't really tripping off that. I was more like, when you bring up God, like Diddy did, I've asked God for his mercy. I'm going, oh, yeah, you're guilty. Because when people do that, it's almost like when people get the tattoos, only God can judge me. When I see those tattoos, I'm like, what have you done in your life? You are trying to convince yourself that you're not a bad person. But, yeah, the Ryan Clark one, I was like, man, he just went in. So I got that. There was another one, Kenny Burns. If you haven't seen the Kenny Burns one, Kenny Burns is a let me see if I can find it. I want to give Kenny Burns the right title. Because I got in trouble a while ago when my boy Fred Witt, I said he's Terrence J's assistant. Boy, Fred called me. He goes, I ain't no assistant, bro. I'm a lot more than that. And I was like, you're right. I was wrong. My fault, Fred. Let me see. Let me give Kenny Burns the proper title. Well, it says radio host on Wikipedia. I think Kenny Burns is a lot more than that. Kenny Burns is just that guy. Real cool dude. Every time I see him, it's all positive. I always run into him at the random spots. He's an industry executive, entertainment industry executive. That's a great title for Kenny Burns. Wikipedia says television, radio host, entrepreneur. If you get a chance, look up his thoughts on Diddy. Let me see if I can find it. So I don't want to misquote people. He said, is this it? No, this isn't the one. Basically, I don't want to spend too much time looking it up, but he said something that I didn't even realize. He said, if you realize right now, Diddy doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have nobody speaking up for him. He's really got nobody around him right now. He goes, because he said, everyone around him basically was using him. You're only around Diddy if you're hoping he can further your career, put money in your pocket, but he doesn't have any real friends. And I was thinking, I was like, yeah, that's why I said, where's Meek Mill at? Why isn't he speaking up for him? Where's all these other people that Diddy's worked with in the past? And nobody's speaking up for him, but I think he's treated people like shit for a long time. And a lot of people are they're not happy that this happened to Cassie, but there's a lot of people happy that Diddy's there's a downfall of him right now. You see a lot of people speaking out against him, not a lot of people speaking for him. He's got ex-bodyguards coming out, and everybody kind of says the same thing. And I think all these bodyguards and all these people that used to work with them, I think they're all full of shit too. Because if you enabled this behavior and you saw it, then to me, you're a piece of shit too. But what I've noticed, and really look at all the interviews, everybody says the same thing. I didn't see anything. I know he went into a room, and then he came out, and either Cassie had bruises or Kim had bruises, or he went in the room with the dude, and then the dude came out and he looked disheveled. Nobody is saying they saw the abuse. They're all saying, I don't know what happened. I know I saw him, yell and scream and fight, but then they close the door. I don't know what happened. So they're all kind of like washing their hands of it. But we know a lot of people saw him hit people, hit women. A lot of people saw him act irrational and go off. And so I think that's some people's way of, I'm going to wash their hands of it. And this is one of them things, man, when you see a video like this, and then you've always heard rumors, and then Diddy doubling down saying, I'm innocent. I can't wait till everything comes out. Time will tell the truth. Hold on. That's when sorry, there's so much out there right now. That's what tells you he's not really sorry, because he would have said nothing and then issued an apology. That's different. But he like doubled down and fought back. Like, I can't wait to clear my name of all these BS charges. This is a money shakedown. And there's a little validity to that. There is people that, oh, I'll just settle for money. Because listen, you can say what you want. When the money that some of these people are getting, especially Cassie, it's like, do you want to see justice? Do you want to see him go away? Or you just want him out of your life? And that's really all you want. I want to be as far away from this man as I can get. And if you're going to compensate me with financially, yeah, I'm going to take it. Everybody would take it. But him being in jail or not being in jail is not going to change what happened. I just want him to leave me alone, basically. So I don't knock her for that or her people. But this is one of them cases where you can't really toe the line. You can't say, I don't have an opinion on it. Because in our world, the entertainment world, it's like, I don't want to say entertainment world, it's anywhere. When you see the level of violence and disregard, like, he paid $50,000 for the hotel video, so it wouldn't get released, and then I think he knew he had the money, so he's like, yeah, I can beat her ass in the hallway, and I'll just do it always then. I'll pay people off. And this is so different than, I saw somebody bring up Michael Vick. Like, there could be redemption. Look at Michael Vick. I go, that's so different, because with Michael Vick, he was raised in that culture. He was raised in dogfighting. And that's, as bad as that is, that's not beating a woman and holding a woman hostage. And Michael Vick was young. This is a 46-year-old man doing this. Can you imagine what he was doing in his 20s? Can you imagine what he was doing in his 30s to people? But this ain't something you could toe the line. I've seen a couple people say, we can't judge. We've all done things we're not proud of. And I go, no, never beaten a woman. Shoot. And we all keep saying don't hit a woman. How about don't hit anybody? How about we just don't hit anybody? That part. Don't hit a man or a woman. Just don't get in fights. Just walk away. It's not worth it. If you win a fight, your hand hurts. And if you lose a fight, your face hurts. Like, either way, something hurts. So a lot of people are like, we just can't hit women. I'm like, no, let's not hit anybody. How about that part? No reason to fight anybody.